Hey, how are you feeling? I can hear that you are tired because when we began with this event, then I heard all these noises that you were all well rested and ready to make games, but now I can see from your faces and I can hear from your voices that you are tired. Thank you for being here. Thank you for participating. Thank you for making these awesome games. Big round of applause for you. And thank you those who have joined us online on Discord or Facebook. Now it's the time to see what kind of games our jammers made. And for that, I have to invite a friend of mine to help me out to present this evening. Jurmo, please. Applause for him.
Thank you. You're far too kind. Hello, everybody. My name is Jurmo. But enough about me. I hear you all made awesome games. Is that correct? 2 people made awesome games. Great. We are going to. I'll believe that when I see it. So, what's going to happen is you get to present, you get to show off your games. How exactly that is going to happen is we will go team by team in the order listed here on the screen. Also on the Jamvote page, the teams list. We will go by each team. If some team is not ready, we will skip them, come back to them later. If your team is here in the Delta building and I call you out, you come down here. At least 2 people from your team should come down. One of them should play and one of them should talk about the game. And you get 5 to 7 minutes to talk about your game, and then some time for questions and comments. If you are online and following along on Discord, and your team is not here in the building, and we call you out, then make some noise on Discord, and you can present from Discord. With that introduction out of the way, let's move on to the first team, who is, let me look at this, Goblin Mafia, with the game Wait a Sec. If anyone from Goblin Mafia is here, please come down. We have your game already started. Microphone for whoever wants to talk, and one person gets to play. Oh, yeah.
Greetings, fellow people. So there's our first introduction to our game. I'll just let you enjoy it, and I'll talk later. The first simple introduction about the game is that we just thought about several mini games. Each mini game has its own mini tutorial, which you can see, like leaving the building, and then the game itself. It's not something complicated, but it's complicated enough that it requires some kind of thinking that must be accomplished with less than 10 seconds. Yes, it has some action. It has some secrets. Well, maybe not Easter eggs, but just secrets. And some fun stuff when you're stressed. And of course, we have lots of cats and eggs. So about our team, we have like 4 artists in total. Most of the pixel artists are right next to me. Applause to them.
I'm the type who mostly made the 3D games, and you're the one who made the pixel art games. So you'd like to say something too? No.
There's nothing really to say. That
Okay, it's pixel art. So, well, there's nothing much to say about the game, really. Sorry about that. It's just very different levels. Each level requires a different type of thinking of you. But of course, the levels does have some kind of similarities, like the colors combination. Some of them are just more funnier. Some are more serious. Oh, that's my favorite part. Yeah, I love dragons, as you can see. So I probably didn't tell about the goal of the game. You have to complete all levels without a single mistake. If you lose once, you have to start all over again. As you can see, she's kind of in the final scores now. If she makes everything, she will win the game. And if she fails once, she has to do everything again. Start from the 0. And maybe probably seen some Easter eggs. That's the cutest part.
Okay, thank you. You can continue to play the game in the background. Now is the time for questions, and I will take the. Well, let's first thank them with a round of applause. Thank you. Now is the time for questions, and I will take this opportunity to ask the first one. How many mini games do you have in this whole thing?
Yeah, 18 total of mini games.
18. That's impressive because and you had like no problem implementing all of them in the short period of time, or did you have more planned?
We might have planned.
Okay.
But those plans were temporary.
They often are at game jams. So thank you. Any other questions from here in Delta or on Discord?
Would you like to know more about who did what in the game, or?
Yeah, please introduce your team. Absolutely. Who did what?
All right. So these artists here made the 3D, sorry, not 3D, pixelated arts. They had most ideas about which levels to create. I was also producing some games, but mostly they were in 3D. So yeah, I was basically a modeler. And most of the sounds are also produced by me, and of course some of them also helped me at later dates. And of course we cannot forget about the our kind, awesome person who kind of tutored us and led us to actually finish the game. And this is our game creator coder, Christo.
Thank you, Christo. And thank you to your team. I take it there's no more questions. So thank you very much. And I will have to ask you to vacate the stage too for the next team so that they can show their game. Thank you. So the next team up is Advanced Goblins Conspiracy with their game Quack 3 or Quack the Third. Let's see. Is Advanced Goblins Conspiracy here in Delta? Is anyone from Advanced Goblins Conspiracy here right now? This is I think this may be the first time I've seen a sequel game in a game jam, like a third installment to a series. Is Advanced? Sorry. I think we can skip. So next up is Bronzod. Yes, Bronzod with Head of Anubis. Head of Anubis. Is Bronzod here? Yes. Great. Talk about your game and your team. The game has already started. I will give one of you the microphone, whoever feels like talking the most, and one of you should go and play the game.
Right. First, we'll let the game start. Mark, start the game. Can we get the sound as well? All right. Well, what our game was about was pretty much that when this theme, the 10-second theme game, then what we thought of time as a resource. So instead of having a health or something, in our game we wanted to have like time as a resource or like as health, pretty much. And by killing zombies, you gain more time, so you can survive. We wanted to implement different weapons. In the end, we got like 3. This is like one of them. It was supposed to be a shard, but unfortunately, okay, it's somebody's. Then this is a shotgun. It was already told to us that this is very annoying. Then we also have a flute, which is our favorite weapon. And then we have those $10, 10-second bubbles, which you can collect, and this gives you time. And also, in the end, there's this Anubis Boss, which is this golden thing, and this is like the end of the game, and you have to mark, shoot at the boss. Yes, so you have to start shooting at the boss. Here's the boss health. And if you fail to kill the boss and you run out of time, then you lose, and then you have to start again. But overall, we are happy with the result. It's a way better game than we had last time. And Mark, show the flute, please. Yeah, thank you. Right. Thank you. If you have any questions, then you can ask.
Thank you. Any questions? Yes, one question there. Did you use free assets or did you make assets? Maybe they bought assets. Maybe they have money.
No, some of the assets, mostly we took it from the internet. But some of them, for example, the flute or the token, the coin, or I think there was something else, mostly from the internet. The flute was made by us.
And also the sounds were made completely by IT.
Yeah, he was our sound effect guy.
Any other questions? So, I may have one question. Can you explain or say a few words about the zombie movement AI?
Yeah, well,
Because it seemed
broken.
It seemed interesting.
Well, it was fine all the way, but then during the last, let's say, an hour, when we started to build the game, then in the build file, the movement is, for some reason, you look like it's broken. But in the editor, it was quite nice. They actually run towards you.
So it was actually like more challenging.
Yeah, they're supposed to follow you.
They're supposed to fall. Fair enough. Any other questions? Well, then, thank you. Thank you for showing off your game. Let's give them a round of applause. And move on to the next team. Right now, thank you. I'm going to quickly have a look who the next team is. The next team is a bunch of random people. That's their name. A bunch of random people with their game Chop Chop. Is anyone random here? Anyone from a bunch of random? Oh, we have one. Yeah, go. Come on down. Two. Yes, three, maybe. At least two people are needed to present, but so. Oh, okay. That's okay. If the presenter is on Discord, then fair enough. You have the microphone, and I take it someone online will play. Someone on Discord. Let's see if we can get that sorted.
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. I will share my screen.
Yeah. Yes, you can do that. So share your game, not the screen, not the entire screen.
Yeah. Seems I have to share the screen. I will share the screen. Okay. Can you hear the sounds?
No, we can't hear the sound.
You have to share the game, not the screen. Otherwise, we can't hear the sounds.
All right. So maybe, yeah, I will put it on a play, and Yogini can introduce us.
We still don't hear the sound.
So we still can't hear the sound.
Okay, but then I will do it without the sound, maybe.
Yeah, if it's okay, I guess we can do it without the sound, because we do have a lot of games to get through.
Yeah.
We heard something, but okay. All right. So we are a bunch of random people, and this is our game. It's called Chop Chop. So basically, what you have to do is, so you start and you have a door that is closed, and you need to find a key to be able to open it. So you go through a maze to be able to find it. And the maze is alive, and how we linked it to, we conceptualized it based on the theme. It moves every 10 seconds. It's a circular maze, and it has rings. So the rings move every 10 seconds. And as you can see, there are like platforms as well, that some of them light up. And when that 10-second is over, it moves and you can fall. So the aim is to go around super fast and find those platforms, so as not to fall, and also to find the way to the next ring until you get to the middle where you find the key. And since most of you have, I guess, played it, I can talk about the ending. So then you have to come back, and you open the door, and you get a pair of huge shears So basically, the story was to find the shield so that you can have something to fight, like maintain or fight the maze. So why chop chop? Because chop chop means like you have to go fast. So during the game you have to go around super fast, but also you want to chop stuff with the shield that you find. And so our team, you have Seem and Janus who were the developers. You have Rasmus, who's not here, who disappeared, who was on UI design. And then you have Robert, Marilee, and I on 3D art, 3D design. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, sound. Janus designed some sounds, and then Marilee and Robert found sounds, but also recorded some for example, when the rings move, they recorded sounds of my luggage to put in, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, thank you. So, just to be clear, I wanted to ask the whole game. If you can still like it doesn't take exactly like 10 seconds if you to win it.
No, it moves every 10 seconds.
Right.
Yeah.
But even if it moves, you can still like win the game. You may not fall.
If you found, like, if you're on the platforms that don't fall.
Right. Okay. I think I get it now.
Okay.
Thank you. So, any other questions from the audience or from Discord? No, there seem to be no questions about this game. So I have another question then. As you played it, how challenging did you find it? Because right now it seems the player is losing quite a lot.
Since the rings like are constantly moving, sometimes while you're like trying to find the way and you haven't for a while, you can realize that at least I did, like, you perhaps have to go back and find another way because it's a maze. So and I'm not sure about, like, maybe the developers, if Seem can answer, like, if they randomized it so that, you know, it's never the same.
That's a good question. Seem on Discord, is the movement of the maze random?
Yes, it is. It's like 50-50 that every circle can go like either direction. So like every time can be a different combination of the movement.
I see. So it is random. So on average, how long does it take to solve the maze, win the game? What would you say?
Really depends.
Well, yeah, it's there is right now there is too much maybe probability that for example, these vertical walls, but cannot allow you to move through the one circle. Maybe these spaces can be bigger and it can be like reduced. Right now, I have played with something like 4 minutes, but I have also played with something like 10 minutes. So it can be very different.
I see. So the randomization it depends on the RNG quite a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. If there are no other questions, then let's give them a round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, bunch of random people. And next up, we have Hiu Trio version 2.5 with their game Apocalypse Resignation. So is anyone from Hiu Trio here?
Everyone in Discord.
Everyone on Discord. Great.
Yes.
You can present through Discord whenever you're ready.
Can you guys see the game?
Can you see the game and like hear it?
I can see it and we can hear it.
Very good. So our idea behind like every 10 seconds, what comes with 10 seconds? Of course, it's like the most basic game, floor is lava. So don't touch the floor. And we went with that theme. Pretty much every 10 seconds, lava rises from like bottom, goes up and goes down. And you have to get to the end. So, after we chose the theme, we have like had to thought about the backstory. So we thought you're this old man who doesn't want to work in office anymore and is going to quit. And now since everything is going bad in the world, lava is rising, everyone is dead, everyone is burning, he's just going to say fuck it and going to resign now. So that's the game. You can play now. There actually was an animation before, but pretty much we just go forward, and when the shit hits the fan, you have to be on the like bench or a bin or on a lamp, so you can't be standing in the lava. And once you do, you get some damage. And the objective is to get to the end without losing all the 3 hearts. It's quite easy, I would say. It's not that hard, but we also had the like speedrunning aspect. So at the end there's a scoreboard, and you have to get to the end like as fast as possible. And there's just like our trees, everything that we had time to make, and we're going near office. And we're gonna see the boss.
Hello, boss. I'm Gooding.
No, you're fired.
So yeah, you couldn't quit. You had to get fired before. As we see, someone already like glitched the game, I guess, with like cheat engine or something. But the most reasonable, I guess, is 55 seconds. So it's quite nice actually. In the testing phase, we also had like 14-second times, but it was at like beta testing that it was a lot easier. So yeah, there you can see all the times there. Someone actually beat it in 55. Third or second, I guess, is 65. So nice job to them. And I'd say that's pretty much all. Do you have any questions?
Thank you. Any questions? Oh, I am told there was an intro video that you did not show us. Can you? Is that correct?
Yeah, but you had the player has to like
for a second.
Game. It only plays once because it's like 20 seconds long, and we didn't want to bore everyone with seeing that scene always. So we only made it like pop up once per like launch.
I see. So you can't show it right now?
I think we can. Wait, let me see.
I'm sure we'd all like to see it.
Attack! A giant volcano has erupted and lava is flooding the streets. The city has fallen into chaos and many have died. Stay calm and stay safe, people. This feels like the perfect time to tell the boss to go f*** himself.
And this is the game.
Okay, thank you. I just had one comment. I like that the final boss is your literal boss. That was a fun choice there. Any other questions? Yeah, one question. Why is the screen shake so intense?
because if like lava rises, it's going to be shaking a lot, so it has to shake a lot.
Yes, it's a seismic event, lava rising. I understand. So that answers that question. Any other questions? If not, then thank you very much, and we'll move on to the next team. Let's give them a round of applause. Can I get the list, showing the list of people again? Thank you. This was Hiu Trio, and now it's time for Hot Talks with Rob the Rubber Man. Hot Talks. They are here. They are coming to stage, I hope. Who will present? Who will take the mic?
So it's a funny story with this one. Well, we didn't know which theme it was. We actually talked through every single theme had to get ideas for each one, and this one was the one that we had the least ideas for. But we finally found this idea of a really cool game. Like you drive around traffic, but every 10 seconds, traffic lights change. So each path you can now take is also different. You play as Rob the Robber Man. He has just robbed a bank. The police are on him, and he doesn't want to get arrested without all the money on him. So he has to go through all his secret stash points and plant the money, trying to get away from the police. Rob, maybe a robber, but he respects traffic laws because that endangers him and others. But basically, what you will first notice about this game is the absolutely beautiful art, and for that I really have to commend Grete and Daria, who sadly couldn't be here right now. So I hope you later. She's on Discord, so I hope she can also hear the great big applause that you're gonna give them later. But yeah, this project turned out to be really fun. The more features we implemented, the more features we wanted to make. We had so many more ideas that we just couldn't make. We were in a real hurry in the end. By the time we made the build, we had about 30 seconds to test it before we could submit it. But yeah, we have basically the enemy cars. There are different types. Some cars try to just chase the player, find the shortest path and take it, and maybe changing the path depending on how the lights turn on and off. Some of them just move around randomly. They take a random point and they start moving to it, but they move really fast, and you can't predict them, which means you can't really know which paths they might now cut off. And also, the music is really good. Intense fun, and it's on the beat, so every 10 seconds you can really hear the build up of when the lights are going to change. So yeah, Freddy is our musician. Big props to him as well, and all of us rest we tried to program the game, making all sorts of different. Each of us worked on different parts of the game, and we're really happy with the end result.
Thank you. And are there any questions? Okay, so I have a question. This the game looks pretty awesome, and I'm getting some real early GTA vibes as well as some Pac-Man vibes. So, what was your inspiration for this top-down gameplay?
Our first inspiration was certainly Pac-Man, literally Pac-Man. We wanted to almost copy the Pac-Man-like movement, but then we also tried this like GTA 2 like car-like movement, and that was just genuinely more fun. So we went with it. It gave a bit more wiggle room, and yeah, you told us not to make GTA, we still made it.
Okay, they made GTA but better. So, GTA, but it's also Pac-Man. Any other questions? Here or on Discord? I think everything is... Oh, how many levels?
2.
2 levels.
We wanted to make 3. We didn't have the time.
Did we see both levels or...
Yes, this is the second one.
This is... Okay, good.
So, yeah, I just decided, since we have only 2 levels, we made the first one easy and the second one hard.
Okay. Any other questions? No? I don't think there's any more questions. Then, thank you. Let's give them a round of applause. And, yeah, great game. Next team up. Oh, thank you. Next team up is Consensus. With their game Agrometry. Consensus. Oh, they're here, and they are going to present. So let's welcome them on stage. The game has already started. Yeah. Who will present? Who will play?
Good morning. So we also try to brainstorm ideas for every possible theme, and we decided that harvesting a field will fit most of them. So we started making that, and we also have volume sliders, important feature. And yeah, you can select the character. The characters have a little bit of different properties. Some are a little bit faster, some are slower. And yeah, go into the game. There's a little tutorial. And your goal is to copy the field you are shown in 40 seconds, but every 10 seconds your control scheme will randomize. And the control scheme that's active is shown in the bottom right corner. And yeah, it gets quite hard. Pretty much all of the assets are made by us. We had some few assets from the internet or the asset store. Mainly we had artists Matilda and Lars, who is not here right now. He also made the music, and with other 4 we just did programming, game design, UI, everything else. Questions? So there's not quite the second level. It every time it ends, the 40-second period ends, it just tells you the score and gives you the option to play it again. So there are 5 different pictures that can appear, and some of them are considerably harder. Oh, and the score is calculated based on the correct amount of tiles, or rather every... to get the score in the positives is already a win. Basically every tile that's unharvested in the field you are shown and unharvested in your field gives you 0 points. Every field that is harvested on your screen but not harvested on the example gives you -1 points. Every field that is not harvested on the preview and you did harvest, or maybe it was the other way around, I don't remember, it gives -2 points. And every correct harvest gives you 10 points.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? So, I had a question. Does the choice of character you're playing as, does it only affect speed or anything else?
Currently it only affects speed. In the first build it did... the hitboxes are a bit different as well. And some of the characters have a bit different weapons, and the weapons also have a bit different hitboxes. And yeah, and different sounds. And in the first build, there were also a few bugs on a few of the characters, so those were like features for those characters.
So
I think they're fixed here.
So could you build a strategy around any specific character, or is there a character that's clearly OP or better than the others?
I think if you play all of them, you'll find that the Squid Game looking character is the fastest and probably because of that the best.
Fair enough. I see. Any other questions? It seems that not. So thank you. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. Something more, something extra. We get more sound effects, more music. Let's hear it. Are those sound effects different for different characters as well? Good. For different weapons. Okay. The lightsaber sounds really horrible. Let's hear it then. Just okay. Fair enough. I think we have some time. We can wait for the lightsaber. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's give them one more round of applause and move on. This was Consensus. We are moving on to Pickles with Pickles game. Pickles. Let's welcome them on stage. Who will talk? Who will play? Go on.
So, what we have here is a hover train from the future in the past. You must escape the 10-second hell. But yeah, we kind of overestimated ourselves and we didn't quite get there with our game where we wanted to go. So the main flow was supposed to be some gratification at least. But the main flow was supposed to be like make some money. You basically, the passengers get on, you get their tickets, then they can move to order some food in the restaurant cart, train cart, and you will also serve them. And also you will every 10 the second time part was that every 10 seconds it was a very bumpy ride, so every 10 seconds something would fall from like the luggage would fall in the aisle, and so the people can't move and make you money. Or the food would fall from the table, or the cook wouldn't cook because something would be wrong in the kitchen cart. So it was like a multitasking game, basically. But yeah, right now it's a time hell.
Okay, thank you. So I think the whole game took about 10 seconds to win. Is that correct? Yeah.
But we basically, as you can see, the art team did really good.
Absolutely. Yeah. I see a lot of potential. I actually wanted to ask about the lore, the future past Western style lore. What's the inspiration behind that?
So yeah, basically the programmers team couldn't get the wheels on time,
and so we decided to have a hover train instead.
Sure, but all the characters were also like aliens and that
That's
game
true.
after that, or
That is our artist's idea. I think it's really cool looking. That's not like a human world. It's an alien Western.
yeah, like Firefly or The Mandalorian. That sort of thing.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? One question there. Will you try to? Yes.
It's like everyone except me wants to do it, so maybe we should. I don't have the time to do it, but maybe I'll find some.
I think there's still time to the official Ludum deadline. So
for me.
Oh well. Any other questions? Well then, thank you. Let's give them a round of applause. You may take your seat. I'll get that. Thank you. And we'll move on to the next game on our list. This was Pickles. We're moving on to RNG. The team is RNG and the game is Saab 10. Saab 10. Who plays, who talks? Go on.
Well, this is hello. So we are RNG. Our game is Saab 10. Two of us being seated over there. I will first try to give you an overview of our game, since it has quite a lot of sound effects and narration. So before we get started on playing, it's a game where you play as a submarine in the deep, deep ocean. You can't see almost anything. But you do have a sonar on board that scans the area every 10 seconds. And that gives you really a lot of information about where you should go and what you should do. There are enemies. There are Tuscium fish, which have Tuskies that have that valuable Tuscium on them that we want to collect in order to maybe get some upgrades for ourselves. Do you want to play?
Hello. It has been some time since someone has dared to step forward. Your task will be to collect Tuscium, a mineral from a shell with a soul of its own. But be aware, as the deep waters won't let you have it without a fight. You'll have torpedoes to defend yourself, but it's best to avoid the sinister creatures entirely. You'll also be equipped with a sonar, which will scan the surrounding area every 10 seconds. Good luck. That would be the sonar. Thank God it's still working. Ah, you found the valuables. Quick, get it before any locals notice us. Great. Now you can follow the compass back to the base and hopefully get some upgrades. Be aware now, there are locals nearby. That was a good job, son. A few more trips and you can get out of here. This here would be the shop. Pretty self-explanatory.
Intense, right? So by now most of the narration I think is over. The idea started with the sonar mechanic because our game master and really all of us thought it would be really cool to have this effect of the sonar going out and illuminating all the edges it can see. I really didn't think this ahead. All the upgrades work very well. You can buy upgrades for the Tuskium that you have collected. You can improve either your speed while moving with cargo. You can improve how much cargo you can move. You can improve how far the sonar reaches. Yeah, I'm just waiting so that we can show you the last narration bit.
What? Why? I knew you were cruel, but this cruel?
And since Tuskies are such cute fish and pretty much the only cute thing in our game, it's really cruel of you to shoot them. How could you do that? So those are the main mechanics in our game. Does anyone have any questions?
Thank you. Yeah, I have some questions and comments. I guess I was really impressed how you integrated the tutorial continuously into the game with the voiceover. Is the world randomly generated or?
No, it isn't. I mean, it could have been, but we just thought that it was safer to do one big level for the game jam, and maybe we'll try procedural generation later.
So like the beginning of the game is all scripted, so you go through all the tutorial points, or can you discover them in
you can the player can do whatever they want, and the narration bits start at the appropriate points.
That's well, I am very impressed by the level of polish on display here. Any other questions? Yep.
For that, I have to give the microphone to my friend Praetor here.
So it's actually quite easy. It's in Unity. So first of all, what we used was raycasting, and second of all, line renderers. So we just raycasted 360 lines around the player, took the connection points, did some things, and rendered lines there with the line renderer. And since they're in the dark, they just look like they glow, and it actually came out a lot better than I thought it would come out.
It was the do some things bit that was a bit unclear to me, but yeah. So a follow-up question to that: did you use an outside Unity plugin for that, or just?
No, this is all we built everything ourselves, except for some of the assets. The sprites are everything ours, but the sounds are taken and modified. You can tell about.
So yeah, something I wanted to add myself. All the visuals, you see, everything is made by our great artist Kaisa over there. Then all the narration you can hear spoken by our great voice actor Laura over there, and all the sound effects, every single one, downloaded by me, but all from the public domain. And the only assets that we want to give credit for are the Pokemon pixel font creators and the freesound.com user Inequation. Thank you very much for your epic radio signal sound. Any more questions?
Sounds like there's no more questions. So thank you very much. Let's give them a round of applause. I will take that. You may return to your seats. Thank you. And we will move on to the next team. And the next team is Tree Mountain HR with Bubble Catcher 3000. Sounds like another sequel in a long-running series.
Thank you. Unfortunately, no, not the sequel. though it isn't the first game jam exactly where we have taken part. First off, I would like to say thank you to Ludwig and Schlatt for making free music for everybody to use. The soundtrack sounds great, right? And then the background, another free, royalty-free picture from the internet. But the bubble sound effects and everything else we made ourselves. If you maybe played it enough, then maybe that sounds familiar. So yes, quite an easy game actually. Maybe we'll take some time to memorize all the power-ups and everything. Yeah, just catching bubbles, and when you catch green bubbles, gives you points. When you catch red bubbles, it takes away health. And then green bubbles refill health until it's full and you get points again. In the top right corner, you can see the colors which say what the power-up you have at the moment, and then what will come next. Also, the platform itself is colored accordingly. If you lose all your health, then the game is over. You can see your score. You can enter the name and submit your score to the leaderboard, which you can. That's a tutorial. There is maybe a bit too much information, maybe a few too many abilities. If you memorize them all, then it's not that hard actually. Then there is an online leaderboard that yes, everyone can submit their score and their chosen name too. I'm Lil Kalju, the first one. Any questions from anybody?
Questions? Yeah.
Yes, every 10 seconds the abilities change, and also every 10 seconds a new bubble appears that the maximum amount of bubbles on screen goes up, so it does get more and more difficult.
Any other questions? That was going to be my question. Does the game get progressively harder? So apparently it does. So is it actually, does it eventually get so hard that so many bubbles on screen that you can't play it, or like
eventually yes, but it does take some time, so you can get a lot of points.
But you have health, but when you lose it, is there any way to regenerate your health?
So when you collect red bubbles, or when you don't collect green bubbles, then you do lose some health. Then when you collect the green bubbles, you regenerate that health. When the health is full, you start getting points again.
So okay, so if you have full health, only then do you get points.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, I see. Any other questions? Yes.
They work together really well, yeah. It was totally planned, yeah. For sure, yeah.
Any other questions? I do have one more question, I suppose. The background image, who made that? Or is that?
That was royalty-free, downloaded from the internet. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you. Any other questions? If not, then thank you. Let's give them a round of applause. And move on to, I think, possibly the final team. Yes, it seems the next team is Void Munch with Void is Lava. Let's welcome them on stage. Who talks, who plays?
Hi, I'm Saskia. Is it working? Do I?
Should be working.
Working? Yes, working. So I'm Saskia, this is Elmar, the team of 2. This was our first game jam together, his first. The idea was that we wanted to show off a lot of bright colors because we messed around in Unreal 5 and we really liked it. So we tried to implement as much colors as possible without making you puke. I like the jumping mechanics and floaty. I just recently learned how to do that in Unreal 5. And then I was like, we need to do jumpy, and that's why the movements are sliding. We made all the assets by ourselves. We also made all the music by ourselves. And it was really fun to make. I realized I'm not a night person, as in when it was 11 o'clock at the night, then I passed out. But Elmar continued on coding, and then I woke up at like 7 or 8, and then I started doing work, so we like worked in shifts. The game is a little buggy. We did our best. We have a better version on the Ludum Dare site. There you die more. But it's more right. The game randomly generates all the blocks. And when the time goes on, there's gonna be less and less blocks until there's only one left. And then nothing. That's when the game ends. Also, the score on your back shows how many jumps you have. As in, you can collect jumps and then you can jump up as much jumps you have. And that's the game. Any questions?
Thank you. Oh, there's a question there.
We didn't plan to do anything with it afterwards. We were like, this is an exercise to learn a lot. So we were like, let's make this and then basically let's forget this so we can move on to other projects. Because it was a super fun experience. But if you wanna, we can talk about exporting it to VR.
So thank you. I think I have one more question. Perhaps I missed it with all the flashy lights and everything, but can you quickly mention again the win condition and lose condition for this game?
There is no win condition. The win condition is to play as until the blocks run out. The lose condition is when you touch the floor. The first 10 seconds are like introduction, then the floor doesn't react, so you can like walk around. But after the first 10 seconds, then the floor will kill you.
Okay.
And then when you jump on the blocks, do you see they light up? After you jump on a block, they will also disappear, so you have to keep moving all the time. We really wanted to put the focus on the gameplay, as in the player has always something to do. There's no chill moment. There's always something to do, something pressing on you.
I see, thank you. That answers my question. Any other questions? I think I have one more question. Do you separately control the player character and the camera? Yeah, standard stuff. That answers my question. Any other questions? Well, if not, then thank you. Let's give them a round of applause. And this concludes the presentations portion of tonight. And we will move on to the awards ceremony, the most exciting part, when we find out who made the best games and who is going home with some prizes. I will hand the stage and the microphone over for this to Daniel.
Thank you, Jurmo. Thank you, Jammers. You had really, really awesome games. But no, I am not going to give the awards to you yet, because I have one last thing I want to say to you. Thank you. Once more, you did it. You survived 48 hours. Actually, you had to deal with less than 48 hours because you know that we had those different schedules this time, but you did it. You made a game. Of course, do not be sad if it didn't meet your expectations. Game jams are hard, but I think, and speaking to you, I got that you learned a lot from this, and this is really, really good for us. And we would like you to continue with learning and developing games. But how to do it? In the beginning, I said it to you that we have in University of Tartu, Institute of Computer Science, we have those awesome courses: evolution of video games, game engines, computer games, development and design, and so on. You can come here, you can learn about game development, you can learn about programming. And if you are already a student, then you can take those courses. I recommend to do it, because when you take it, then next game jam will be better for you. So, sorry. And of course, see you next time. Next time we have Pro Game Jam. So this is the time and place for the professionals. The professionals will come and make their best games. But of course, we are not going to exclude any beginners. You can come and also compete in another league. So this is for you. Also come there and make your best game, or your first best game then. And do not forget to continue. Every time you amaze me with those games you make. So please continue making games, continue developing this game that you did in these last few days. So, but if you continue making new games, then you know that you have to, the basic steps still apply, that you still have to choose some technologies. Then you have to set up the project, you have to form the idea, you have to begin with the development, you have to make the minimal viable product, and you have to get feedback from others. You know, now you know that you have to get feedback, because I think I saw that a lot of feedback that the tutors gave you, you actually implemented them. That's really nice. Awesome job. And you made some polishes, so continue making polishes. And when you're done, make your game and publish it. Release it on Google Play Store. Actually, some of you here, some of the tutors actually have done this.
Entrepreneurship and innovation. I deal with the intellectual property, which is the boring part when it's evening of Sunday, but also very important and cool part when you're developing new games, and especially when you want to commercialize them. And as I saw from your presentation today, the games are really, really cool. And I hope that you would want to continue working on them and also commercialize them and get some profit and let the world see them really nicely. And I guess during the development of your games this week and then before, you already understood that it takes quite a lot of attention to actually develop the little bits of content, and especially more attention to manage all these assets. and to remember and not to kind of like make the side steps to use some content that belongs to someone, or to forget the licensing or forget to pay for some license for the content. And this is something that can create some problems in the future. So all the pieces as the graphics and the sounds, visual effects, the gameplay and the narrative, this all are your intellectual property, or the intellectual property that you actually obtain from someone else. And I invite you all to contact us if you have any questions. You can find me at university, the first floor, or contact by email if you just have, like some questions. So like, hey, I want to continue. I want to know whether I could use my game freely, or I need to check something and double check. And our Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation also offers the support for the IP assets that were created in the university. We help you with mentoring, development, protection of the intellectual property, maybe some advice if there is some patentable solutions and they were created in the university. We also help you with patenting. And just, like with maybe some good advice and insight from the outside. So if you would want to continue commercializing, and if you would want to continue with developing the games, let me know. You can find me somewhere here today by the end of the evening, and just feel free to drop the email. And good luck, and really, really impressive games. That's the first time I'm at the Game Jam, and I'm really impressed by the level, and it was really, really interesting presentations. Thanks everyone, and let's see you around later.